Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical and welcome back to another video. Today for you guys, we're going to be taking a look at 10 Kingdom Hearts references in other video games. These don't tend to happen all too often. Honestly, I could only find 10 out there. So if you guys know about any other games that do contain some Kingdom Hearts Easter eggs or little references, be sure to post them in the comment section down below. I would love to know. However, let's dive in. Final Fantasy 15, there's a little reference towards Kingdom Hearts in the Grey Shire Glacial Grotto. This is a dungeon, and once you make your way to this vault door, Prompto will say this line.
No dice, won't budge.
For every lock, there exists a key.
Or like a magical key that can unlock any door, like from the video games.
This is obviously a little reference to Kingdom Hearts, a key that can open any door. It's not really surprising, as of course Square Enix are the ones behind Final Fantasy as well as Kingdom Hearts. It got me kind of thinking though, does this mean that Kingdom Hearts exists in the universe of Final Fantasy 15 as a video game? Sora, Kairi, and Riku appear as NPCs in World of Warcraft. Yeah, this is a funny one. In Kol Terrastorm's song Valley, within the Battle for Azeroth expansion, if you go to this exact location, you can find NPCs that resemble Sora and Kairi, as well as Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1, standing on this little rooftop looking towards the ocean. Very fitting. They're not named Sora, Kairi, and Riku, they're just simple Watchmen NPCs, but are uniquely designed. This goes to show that someone at Blizzard during the time were, of course, big Kingdom Hearts fans. The Simpsons game from 2007 contains a very blatantly obvious Kingdom Hearts Easter egg. In stage 14, known as Big Super Happy Fun Fun Land, we can find a statue of Santa's little helper holding the Kingdom Key in his mouth. You'll probably notice too that the statue is also referencing Okami. To be honest, this doesn't really come as a surprise too much, as the Simpsons game contains a lot of references to a bunch of different video games, as that's sort of the theme of the Simpsons game in itself. I do however think that it's special that Kingdom Hearts got a priority reference though, in amongst the amount of other different video games they could have chosen to reference here. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart from last year had a really cool one, and I was absolutely thrilled to see this, as it's putting two of my favorite things together. Once you collect 12 gold bolts, you'll unlock a wrench swap pack, and one of the options here is Key. The Key looks like a Keyblade that you would obtain, say, if Sora went to the Ratchet and Clank world and stopped the darkness from interfering. This is very obviously a reference to Kingdom Hearts. What's cool too is some of the pirates later on in the game are actually equipped with this weapon. Disney Infinity 3.0 had a really cool Kingdom Hearts reference. In fact, it was pretty much just integrated into the game. There's two things here. First is the Kingdom Key. Yes, you were able to literally equip any of your Disney Infinity characters with the Kingdom Key and use it as a weapon. This was the ultimate unlock for the 3.0 edition. What this means is, to unlock it, you need to unlock and own every single 3.0 character. Now, as we know, this was a Toys to Life game, meaning that you would have to spend money in order to buy the character figures to then unlock in the game. Now, considering that there were 46 of these bad boys in the 3.0 edition, and that they came in anywhere from $10 to $15 per figure, you're looking at about $690 in order to unlock the Kingdom Key in the game, which I think is a little bit ridiculous. The other side to this is that there is a Kingdom Hearts 2 King Mickey outfit that you can unlock. However, you need the exclusive King Mickey playdisc. This was only ever given out to the attendees who went to D23 2015 in Anaheim. Apparently, there are about 100 other discs that were given out during a sweepstakes event shortly after the event, but this means that there are only a handful of these playdiscs that exist, making this to be one of the rarest Kingdom Hearts collectibles. Now, personally, I actually own one of these discs, and the footage that you guys are seeing right here is my very own footage. This was thanks to my very good friend Gogeta, who ended up attending D23 2015, and he simply just didn't want the disc and ended up giving it to me. I am forever grateful for this, because it really is one of the rarest pieces of Kingdom Hearts merch or collectibles I actually own. To celebrate the release of Kingdom Hearts 2.8, World of Final Fantasy got a free Sora DLC. This was kind of amazing because there hasn't really been much Kingdom Hearts inclusion in Final Fantasy games. And this was the very first time we ever saw the character of Sora appear in a console-based Final Fantasy game, albeit in his chibi form, but this was incredibly cool. The sad thing about this though is that it was only for a limited time. Although the DLC was free, the DLC ended up getting removed off the PlayStation Store after a few months. So as of right now, if you didn't get into downloading this piece of DLC during the time, you completely miss out, which I think is a little bit strange. Terrarium's got a pretty sweet one. You can obtain a literal kingdom key known as the Key Brand. It's dropped by the Blue Armored Bones, Hell Armored Bones, and Rusty Armored Bones in the post-Plantera dungeon part. It's got a 1 in 200 chance to 1 in 333 chance to drop for the legendary version, so it's a pretty hard to come by weapon. Due to its reach and stats, this is actually one of the better weapons to obtain in Terrarium. Undermine, which is a indie dungeon crawler roguelike title released back in 2019, has an item known as Key Space Blade. Gain damage for each key you have. I love the little description right here, a sword in the shape of a dull key, not practical as a key or a blade. Sora would like to know your phone number. You'll need to obtain keys in order to progress through the game and unlock doors, and with the Keyblade item in your inventory, it means that for any keys you're holding, you'll obtain +2 damage for every key. Marvel Heroes, the 2016 version, contains a weapon specifically for Deadpool known as Keyblades. The actual model for this weapon doesn't resemble the Keyblade whatsoever, but the name in itself is obviously a Kingdom Hearts reference. Because this is an action RPG MMO, it means that all of the different weapons are randomized, including the name itself, so you might come across Cosmic Demon Spawn Keyblades, or Keyblades of Knowledge, and the item description for this is a heart, my kingdom for a heart. This right here would have to be our very first Marvel Kingdom Hearts reference. Castle Crashers, an Xbox Live arcade game from 2008. I used to play the living life force out of this game back in the day. It really is amazing, and it's now available on all platforms, so you really should do yourself a favor and go ahead and play it. It's really good. But in the sense of this reference, I'm not 100% certain if this is actually a Kingdom Hearts reference, but there is a weapon in this game known as the Key Sword, and it's also used to unlock the bolted up door, the locked door, in the pet room, which will give you access to the final pet known as the Beholder. I want to say that it is a Kingdom Hearts reference because it's Key Sword, you know, Key Blade, Key Sword. And I want to think that like one of the developers are a fan of Kingdom Hearts or something. It is a 2008 title. At that point, Kingdom Hearts had been out for some time. I don't know, at this point, whenever I see like a key sword in, you know, some form of media, I just instantly think, okay, someone on the team there are clearly into Kingdom Hearts. And that right there is 10 Kingdom Hearts references and Easter eggs in other video games. If there are some video games out there that do contain Kingdom Hearts references, I would absolutely love to know about it. Please do leave that in the comments section down below. However guys, I'm Cynical, hopefully you're having a fantastic day, and I'll catch you dudes real soon. Peace.